These little neck rolls. All right, who cares? If any of you know me personally, or even just on the internet, I think I always mention that I have like acne, and I've had acne problems for like, I'm 25, so yeah, like 10 years already, and I'm fucking sick of it. I'm sick of having to do everything to like treat it when it comes. So I finally have been able to, you know, get approved to do Accutane after speaking to psychiatrists, because, you know, I went through something earlier this year, and they found that I seem mentally stable enough to get on Accutane. And so now that I've been doing the process for about 3 months, trying to get like approved and having to do my pregnancy test and getting like, well, I already had 2 forms of birth control, but you know, they had to like go over it with me, and they make you wait a month to make sure that you're not pregnant. You have to have a full cycle. It's just a huge thing for women. So I finally got approved to get on Accutane, and I went to my appointment yesterday. My doctor was like, yeah, I'm gonna put it in the system for you, and I had to just go online and take the little test that they do. It's real regulated. Probably easier for me to get a gun if I wanted one, but I don't want one. I just want clear skin. So today I finally took the little online test, and then they told me I have a 7-day window to go and get my prescription. So I picked it up today, and here it is. It's isotretinoin capsules. So I guess like if you've ever taken the tretinoin cream, retinol, all that kind of stuff, my dermatologist told me it's an internal one. So I'm probably gonna have really dry skin, really dry scalp, all that stuff. I heard that you don't even like have to worry about your hair getting greasy after not washing it for a few days, just because like it's just gonna fuck with the oil production in my body. But I hope that like this is the cure to what I've been struggling with for 10 years, because this shit sucks. Like the only time I've ever really had clear skin was when I was on birth control, and I don't want to get back on birth control. I hate birth control. And then when I was pregnant, and I'm not trying to get pregnant again. I have my tubes tied. My husband has a vasectomy, all for a good reason, which is that we don't want to bring any more kids into this world. So anyway, I'm going to document this whole process, and I think maybe I probably won't upload this today. I'll do a little check-in when I'm done with like the first month of these, or just when I start to see some progress in my skin. This is currently what my skin looks like under makeup. I just have my foundation mixed with the MAC strobe cream, so there's no skin filter on this video. I turned it off so you guys could see like the real texture of my skin, and then I'll do another like check-in without makeup, but today I just already had my makeup on for the day. Probably when I take off my makeup and like do my face routine tonight, I'll show you guys what my skin looks like without makeup, and then in a month when I'm done with this prescription, I will show you what my skin looks like then. And I'll continue to do checkups, but I won't wait until I'm done with this, because I think I'm gonna do this for somewhere between 3 to 6 months. So probably in a month after I'm done with this, I'll upload and you guys get to see that, and then I can answer any questions you have on my experience with Accutane so far. I don't know what I'm gonna call it though, because I heard that you'll get like demonetized, but if you know anything about the adpocalypse, you'd know that I'm not monetized anymore. They got rid of all the little YouTubers' monetization, so maybe I could just put it with Accutane as the title. Just so you know, I did not have to pay for this. I mean, technically, like, my husband has to pay for it out of his paycheck because, you know, it's not free. But, I mean, when you're in the military, you get TRICARE and it's free practically. Like, you don't see the money that, I don't even remember how much came out on my LES and stuff like that. Yeah, so I'm lucky that I'm on TRICARE right now and I won't have to pay anything for my prescriptions or anything like that. And so hopefully before there's any huge changes in my life, that I'll be done with this whole process and my skin will be perfectly clear, other than, you know, the occasional maybe hormonal breakout. But for now, I just want to see if I can be done with this problem that I've had for a decade and prevent my kids from having this problem. So I don't know if it's covered by insurance. I saw the Taylor on YouTube say that I think it was partially covered by insurance or not covered, but I don't recall her saying anything about it being like completely covered by her insurance. All I know is that if you're military family, military dependent, service member, it is completely covered by TRICARE, and you just have to like keep up with all the appointments and such. Hopefully it goes well for you. Hopefully it goes well for me. I'm kind of scared. I had a friend who was on this and he was a guy, so side effects may be different, but he said that like he got severe nosebleeds and aches, pains, muscle, joint pain and stuff in his body. I'm hoping I'm kind of like the Taylor and I don't get crazy side effects. I'm hoping maybe like a little chapped lip or something small. Come on, God, I don't. I've been through enough. I don't deserve to have like all this bullshit happen to me. Just give me fucking clear skin already so I can go on with my life because I'm cute. Well, I have messed up teeth and messed up skin, but aside from that, I'm naturally cute. Like before my teeth shifted and before I started breaking out, I was a beautiful woman, okay? So in this next clip, I'm just gonna show myself taking it and I'm gonna tell you what time it's at and all that jazz so you can see the whole process and see if you want to do what I'm doing. All right, so this is what it looks like when you open the big box. It looks like there's 3 packs with 10 capsules in it. I thought when you open this that it had like a month's supply in each, and I was like, oh, they gave me all 3 months. But no, apparently it's 10 and there's 3 packs, so that's a month's supply. Don't take if you're pregnant because it can cause severe birth defects. Don't become pregnant. Basically, it just says everything about not getting pregnant, which is not gonna happen to me because, you know. So it's like tapes down here, you open it, boom. There's a bunch of warnings again because they don't want you to get pregnant. Then the little tabs down here, I'm on 20 milligrams. She wants to start me out with because she doesn't think my acne is like too bad. And I mostly just get it like here, just on my cheeks really. Ooh, that's so weird. It has these little egg things. I was gonna say it looked like birth control, but it looks like jelly beans kind of push through. Oh, and my doctor said that you have to take it with food because it needs something to attach to. I'll be back actually after I eat something. Okay, I finished eating. No, I was telling the camera that. Finished eating. It's about 6 o'clock. So now I'm gonna take this, and I guess every day at 6 o'clock I have to take it if I can get it open. Oh, I'm not talking to you.
I thought you were eating real quick and you'll get more food. I'm starving.
What? Let's go get more food. I have to take this.
Yourself.
I'm gonna eat again. What you mean?
You had your food.
I'm famished.
You had food at the house.
Yeah, I think I got it now. They really don't want you taking this shit. Comes in this little egg. What if, as soon as I took it, all of a sudden it just goes and just like gets rid of my breakouts?
I'm like, that's fucking nuts.
Like you see this one right here, just shrinks. Okay, I'm back. It is about 10:30. I just finished washing my face and doing my whole nighttime skincare routine. And I was about to go to bed, but then I remembered that I forgot to film this little part without makeup on. So I know, don't be alarmed. You're probably thinking she needs to keep the fucking makeup on. But yeah, but that's why we're here to see some magic happen. Yeah, I'm not actually greasy. I just put an oil on to seal in all my skincare at night and to hopefully help with scarring because I heard that rosehip seed oil can help. But you know that's probably a lie like everything else. This is what, fuck, my face cut so bad. Actually, before I got my period, everything was flat and starting to like go away a little bit. And then I got my period and it still was looking nice, and then I ended my period and all this came up. Like, I haven't had ones on my neck in such a long time. And I started getting ones on my forehead. Like, I hardly ever break out my forehead. This is going to be our before for this video. And then hopefully in 3 to 6 months, whenever my doctor decides to take me off of it, we'll have beautiful, perfect skin and I will never have to worry about this ever again. Because, okay, look at me, right? Oh, see, cute, nothing on. I have eyebrows without makeup on. Not cute. Cute? Not cute. Cute. See, so it's literally, it's just the scars. Like, go away so I can flourish. Anywho, it is May 30th, 2018, and it's the very first day I took Accutane. So hopefully there's a beautiful end result to all of this. Good night. Alright, so it's been a month since I filmed the first part of this video. My skin has gotten worse. I stay in the subreddits Accutane and skincare addiction, and they all talked about how Accutane completely cleared their skin, but in the first like 2 months it purged everything that they would have gotten over probably like a year, and it all just came out at once. My dermatologist said that Accutane is a pill form of like the creams that you see people take for cell turnover, like retinol, retinoids, those type of things, and it makes it all happen like really fast. So your skin is just like turning over, trying to create new skin, and it has to get rid of all the nasty stuff that would have come out, and then it'll continue to make new skin. Over a few months, you'll have pretty skin after they get rid of the shitty skin. That rhymed. So I stay in the Reddit blogs, and I knew that I was going to have a purging phase, so I was expecting this, and I was kind of hoping for this because this is just a sign that lets me know, hey, your body is reacting well to it, and hopefully you'll have really clear skin in a few months. So this to me just means it's working. It's like when you're a little kid and your mom puts hydrogen peroxide on a wound and you're crying about it because it hurts, and they're just like, that means it's working, like you're not going to get an infection. So I'm really happy about that, and I went to my 1 month checkup with my dermatologist yesterday, and even though I had these crazy breakouts on my skin, I was just in there with a smile like, yeah, I'm excited, I'm happy, I know it's working. I haven't had any bad side effects. All I've experienced are chapped lips that kind of peel sometimes, but I use the Aquaphor healing ointment. The Taylor recommended this. She was also on Accutane, and I started using this before getting on Accutane just to kind of like prepare myself so I wouldn't have dry, cracked lips right away, and it's helped me. The only time my lips get super dry is if I'm feeling dehydrated, and you can kind of feel dehydrated on this medicine, but I'm not really sure if that's the same for everyone because I also take Concerta for my ADHD, so that dehydrates me already. Throughout the month, I wrote notes down on my phone as a little Accutane journal so I could remember exactly what I was going through during this process, and I'm gonna just touch on some of those right now. Before I go through my Accutane journal, I just wanted to let you know the process that it took. For those of you who've read up on Accutane or try to get prescribed, you already know how stressful, well, not really stressful, but just all the steps that you have to go through in order to be prescribed Accutane. So first they have to see if you're a good candidate. Are you pregnant? They have to take a pregnancy test. They take blood work to see if you're healthy enough because the medicine can mess with your liver and all these other things. I don't know about any of that because they got my lab results and they said I was good to go. Also, they have to make sure that you have 2 forms of birth control. So some women like to get on the pill or have an IUD, maybe the implant in their arm, and then their second form is either their spouse or partner using a condom, or they have to, I don't know. I really don't know what multiple forms of birth control look like because I have my tubes tied and my husband has a vasectomy. So right away she was like, oh, you're a good candidate for this. Those are 2 forms of main birth control. There's no chance of you getting pregnant. So I didn't have to get on any type of birth control or anything like that. Some people might have to get a psych eval, some may not. Like if they've never seen anything in your record about depression or anxiety or any kind of mental illness, they'll be like, oh, okay, you're good. But you know, just be careful. Some side effects may cause suicidal thoughts, depression, and all that kind of stuff. But because I had gone to the ward at the beginning of this year and I stayed for a few days, they did not want to put me on Accutane. So I had to go see a psychiatrist after seeing my psychologist. And my psychiatrist thought that it would be good for me to get on Accutane because she knows that having acne really adds to depression. Like, especially with me, if I'm having really bad breakouts, I don't feel like going anywhere. I just want to lay in bed. And it's not that I'm like sitting home crying about it. I just don't feel like getting ready, doing anything, putting makeup on, nothing like that. So my psychiatrist thought, you know what, like, you had shit going on in your life, maybe this will be one less stress that you'd have to worry about. So I'm gonna let you go on Accutane as long as you come see me while you're on it and we make sure that you're not gonna try to kill yourself. So after I finally got the okay from a psychiatrist, going back to my dermatologist, they saw the note from the psychiatrist that gave me the okay, and she was like, all right, well, I guess we will start this next month, because I had to miss an appointment. And when you miss an appointment, there's a deadline where you have to be seen again. And if you're not seen within that deadline, then you get kicked out of the iPledge system. The iPledge system is what makes Accutane like so regulated. When you do the iPledge, that's what makes you have to get on 2 forms of birth control, get blood work, make sure you're not pregnant. You have to sign consent forms. They give you this huge booklet full of information on preventing pregnancy. There are multiple iPledge forms in here that you have to sign with your dermatologist, and just all this information that you have to remember, because every month you have to be prescribed a new prescription of Accutane. They don't just say, okay, you're on it for 6 months, here, go pick up your prescription. No, you're in the system and you get prescribed your month supply of Accutane. You have to pick it up within 7 days, and if you don't pick it up within 7 days, you get booted out of the system and have to start the whole process all over again. Every time you go in, they tell you, okay, cool, we're gonna prescribe you again. But then you have to go on their website and fill out this little questionnaire, and then if you like pass, then they'll okay you to go pick up your prescription, and they tell you you have 7 days to get it or you're gonna get kicked out. I think I've touched on everything that you have to do in order to be on this. They gave me my Orison. I guess that's just the brand. For most people, they say it's expensive, like anywhere between $500 to $1,000 for 1 month supply, but I have TRICARE, so all my prescriptions are free, all my medical care is free. Basically, if I just utilize the military facilities that are provided for me, then everything is just free. So I'm just so grateful that I have this insurance that covers it for me, and I don't have to worry about the cost of it. I just go pick up my prescription and sign for it. One thing that I don't like about being on Accutane is the fact that you can't drink. But I didn't know that you couldn't drink on it, so I've had a few drinks here and there. I haven't had any issues, no weird side effects. My dermatologist didn't tell me not to drink on it. I don't even think the pharmacist told me not to drink on it, but I read the box and it said do not drink. So some of the warning labels on here say do not drink alcoholic beverages. You should avoid prolonged or excessive exposure to direct and or artificial sunlight while taking this medication, because Accutane makes your skin extremely sensitive. You got to think you're having new skin that is just so fragile, trying to turn over and grow for you. I hear that it can make your skin feel like paper thin. So going in the sun is going to make you fry. So one thing I've always heard, and I got ahead of time, was to wear SPF. I bought some Japanese SPF because I've read on a bunch of skincare blogs and threads that Japanese skincare usually has the best sunscreen, and I wanted stuff that wasn't gonna break me out and that was going to give me the most protection. Also, if I know I'm gonna be in the sun, I bring a hat. I'm not trying to get burnt because sun damage will age the fuck out of you, and I don't wanna age. For my first dose, I was put on 20 milligrams. Now that I've gone back to the dermatologist after my first month, she likes the progress that she's seeing, so she put me on 40 milligrams. And I know some people get nosebleeds, they get joint pains, they have a lot of weird side effects, but luckily for me, I didn't have any weird side effects. I only had the chapped lips and just like dry skin, so she feels comfortable putting me on 40 milligrams now. Now that we've gone over all that stuff, we can get into my Accutane journal. On May 30th, it was the first day of Accutane. On June 3rd, it was day 5, and that's when I noticed my purging phase began. I started having like cysts popping up. If you see the footage from before, I'll put it in here. I didn't have many cysts just popping out. I could kind of control it, but I just noticed like, ooh, it started to get a little angry and red. On day 6, the purging continues. I was getting painful cysts and whiteheads on my cheeks. I hardly ever get whiteheads. Most of my acne is hormonal, and they're big cysts that are under the skin with no head, so I don't try to like pop them or anything like that, but they naturally scar really badly. So I noticed that the whiteheads were probably from the Accutane. Also on this day, I started getting extremely dry skin, and I was peeling around my nose, and this was the day that I started to notice the chapped lips. but it wasn't like dry and cracked. It was just kind of like swollen and dry, and it felt like a cast of dry skin was just laying over my regular lips, but it didn't bother me that much. On June 5th, which was the 7th day of Accutane, I woke up with painful throbbing breakouts. I kept having to apply Aquaphor in the crevice of my nose. My face was throbbing. There was a lot of pressure on my face from new breakouts, and I counted 4 new whiteheads. My mood was irritable as hell. Like, I'm already irritable, but I was just irritable with every little fucking thing that day. On day 9, my right side, which is always the side that breaks out worse, was still heavily broken out, and then my left side, which is usually more clear, started to clear up a little bit more and faster. Also on that day, my skin wasn't feeling dry anymore. It felt like it had kind of balanced out, but my lips were still dry. Still didn't bother me though, because Aquaphor is the shit. This part I want to mention because it's important to mention, especially when you're going to go on a drug like this. In my notes, I mentioned that I would cry randomly and I felt really depressed, and I was kind of having some suicidal thoughts, but stuff like that happens when I'm on my period, and I think like, oh my God, I don't attempt, I don't do anything, I just like will lay in bed and I'll like think about that kind of stuff and cry about it. So I don't know if this is from the Accutane, but I just thought it was important to mention that I did have some of those thoughts. That phase is over. Like, after I got off my period, I haven't had any thoughts like that. I haven't been crying randomly or anything. So I'm pretty sure it was just like me being emotional on my period and getting onto a new medication. But it's just important to let you know that this is something that can actually happen, and it's not just something that you hear doctors say as a precaution. Some people do experience it. On June 13th, which was my 2 weeks on Accutane, I noticed that I have that all over like redness cast on my face. You probably can't see it right now because of the lighting washing it out, but when I do my makeup, it has like that weird orange red cast on my face, and I used to just have like pure white face with the red scars. At this point, nothing felt painful on my face anymore. My breakouts had started to go away, and I hadn't gotten any new ones at this point. On the 17th day of being on Accutane, that was the first time I noticed my lips had gone from just being dry to actually like cracking and peeling. On the 20th day of Accutane, I noticed rough spots where my pores were, and my nose would look like a strawberry, kind of like. Usually my pores, they don't bother, I don't even notice them. Everything's just really smooth. But then like I rubbed my face and it felt like kind of prickly here, and my nose felt prickly. When I looked up closely, it looked like a little strawberry, and like there were little prickly things sticking out. But I went on Reddit and I read up on it. I guess they're called sebaceous filaments or something like that. They come to the surface when you're on Accutane, and people said that after a while, when you're on Accutane, they'll just kind of like fall out or go away and you won't have them anymore. So I was like, okay, cool. Just another sign that it's pushing everything out of my skin so it can get back to normal. So on day 21, I used an exfoliating toner, which was the Pixie Glow Tonic, and my sebaceous filaments on my nose seemed to disappear and smooth out. So after using that, I also woke up the next morning with the breakouts that I had that were now flat and just dried out. So that was a good sign. And then I think since I was getting off of my period at this time, when I go running, I usually run every day. I started to have like pains in my lower calves. Now that just could be because I'm not stretching, but it might be because of the Accutane, because I know that like you can have like body pains and stuff like that, but I haven't had any problems since. And so far, those are my only side effects. Basically, my experience on Accutane has been pretty good. I expected way worse, and I hope it doesn't get any worse. But basically, this is how my skin is looking now. And I hope that being on 40 milligrams this next month won't bring any new side effects, because I'm kind of just chilling and allowing my face to do its thing. I kind of just don't feel like leaving my house, and it's not because like I am severely depressed or anything. I just don't want to get sunburned. I don't want to expose my new breakouts to sunlight. I don't want to have to put makeup on and stuff like that. I just would rather be comfortable in my PJs, sitting at home and relaxing and not having to worry about my skin. And I hope that soon it'll just clear up so I can be a little bit more carefree and not have to put such heavy products on my skin. And yeah, that's basically it. I've been on Accutane for 1 month. Maybe in 2 months I'll do another update, and hopefully by then my skin will actually be clear and out of the purging phase. But if you have any questions, just leave some comments down for me and let me know if I didn't touch on anything, because I'm kind of a scatterbrain. So thanks for watching.